it's such a weird, because like I said, I've made this weird decision that for like now, these next few weeks, this is all I'm gonna concentrate on.
Yeah.
Because the other shit's too bad, everything else in my
Yeah.
life is too crazy. I gotta concentrate on something positive-ish.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, ish. It's
You know?
extremely positive.
And I keep thinking like, all right, like even today when I'm done, one weird thing, I still gotta go over and do the stomach shit and cardio. You know what I mean? So I figure I'm just gonna continue to do that, you know what I mean? Like, and fucking whatever, because like I said, the other stuff was just so crazy. I don't know if this is catching on, but the other stuff is even weirder.
That's why this.
Yeah.
Oh my God, use this because you never know what comes out of this.
Yeah, true. At the very least,
Yeah.
I would like to think like my knees are better, my back feels
You're
better.
working on one thing, like physical and all that. You're working on, but you never know you never know what comes of it.
Yeah.
You never know what kind of doors you're gonna open.
True.
By just doing this and just transforming yourself.
True.
Which is cool.
Well, I'll tell you the just going in there every day and like I said, personally, like I said, you know, I keep doing that thing, like I said, where, you know, you can't picture what you want to look like, you have to picture where you were.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, so you know.
Have a goal in mind, but the goal I think should be a size of clothes first.
But you know what's the problem is I'm already in the size of clothes I never thought I'd see.
Yeah, that's funny. So I think that's first. I think that's your first goal. Well, and then once you're in the size you want, all right, now let's form this thing.
Well, you know what I was thinking too is like I always had like in my head a number, right? And when I had COVID, I got down to within 10 pounds of it. But of course, then I put that back on because I didn't do anything. Then when Mary passed away, I didn't go to the gym for like fucking 4 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I kind of gained weight there. Now, the last time I weighed myself was 9 days ago, and I was 9 pounds of it. So I got there in a more healthy way. You know, because I actually went back up to 255 at one point, and I was thinking, fuck. Like,
so you recently lost 9?
A lot more than 9. Like the last time I weighed myself, I was 230.
Wow.
So and I want to get to 222.
And so what were you?
I weighed myself in 9 days, but last time I weighed myself it was 230.8. You know.
Shit.
Yeah, having this thing. So so what I did was, and because I'm obsessive with that fucking.
See, that's good. See, doing it a few weeks, 1 week here and then a week later, that's fine. That's not obsessive.
Well, no, but here's the thing. The only reason I don't know how much I weighed in the last 9 days is because 9 days ago the batteries died. Yeah. In the thing. Now, because I get on that thing 100 times a day.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I thought that was a sign, like God saying, all right, you know, just fucking don't worry about it. Just do what you gotta do and
stay up.
Yeah, so I made a day, like I figured 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I wanna see what happens in 2 weeks. So I've really been good on the diet, you know what I mean? And I've really been good showing up. So I would like to see some sort of,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is I can't wait to go to the doctor and have him do my blood and I want to see I forget what the name of that shit was. But like, you know, you're fat, you have a whole bunch of something in your blood. And then my number, like they said like high was 200, mine was like 4 something.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit. Like, you know, triglycerides?
Oh, yeah.
My triglycerides were fucking through the roof.
So you get a lot of those in your fat.
Yeah.
I know triglycerides are not great.
No, it does something to your blood work.
Yeah, it slows it.
Yeah, like sludge or something.
It slows the flow down.
Yeah, it's never good.
Yeah.
Here we go.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, so now I want to see what it is though.
Yeah.
Because I was 286, I think.
You
did that, so that's 56 pounds ago. You know,
I mean, but how long ago was that?
a year.
Yeah.
A little more than a year actually. It was actually maybe a year and a half. So that's because I didn't worry about it.
The girl I'm working with now. I know we gotta get on. The girl, she did a 5-week picture thing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're just 5 weeks. And all right, it's hard to tell here, right? That's 5 weeks ago.
Wow. Yeah,
If
definitely.
you look at the rolls on
Yeah, the rolls and her. I mean, granted, not that the one. Her shape is better.
Yeah,
right? She's standing up straighter.
Yeah,
she's not
it's only
fat.
5 weeks.
That's great.
Just 5 weeks.
That's great.
So, because she said every once in a while I do this. She said because I'm like, it's nothing's working. And then she said, I take a picture, I put them side by side. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, good.
And she said, that's only 5 weeks apart.
Yeah.
So
Isn't that great? That's crazy. That's great.
She works really hard. She works a lot. She's doing just like you're doing.
Yeah.
But she just eats.
Okay.
You know, but she's doing well.
Yeah, definitely. That's great, man. She looks good.
And good morning. morning, everybody. Welcome aboard. We are Renegade Radio. John Pica, Brian Berger here hanging out. The RenegadeRadio.com is the website. You can also go to Renegade Radio Boston on YouTube. Check us out. We're streaming live.
Certainly are.
What's wrong with you, Mike? Give it a slap. Oh, yeah.
We certainly aren't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Top of the line equipment, everybody.
Thanks for us.
We'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we're fine.
Hey, patience, John.
Don't worry about it. Patience.
Patience.
We have plenty of that. Plenty of that. We are good with patience. Actually, if you looked it up in a dictionary, if you wrote a book on how to have some patience.
Is it patience or lack of any effort?
No, on our end.
Well,
it's certainly not that on our
that's
end.
a good point.
Yeah, and lazy son of a bitch. Sometimes you just want to choke people, right?
Yeah, you certainly do.
Yeah, not in a literal sense, but in a figurative sort of way.
Exactly.
You know? And whatever. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Brian. How are you, buddy?
Well, I'm just lovely, John. Happy July 26th, everybody.
Yay.
It's going to be a hot one in case you care, because like I was watching the news yesterday, and apparently it's a big deal that it's hot during the summer now.
Yeah, be careful, everybody. Heat wave.
Hey, don't forget old people and pets.
Yeah.
I just want everybody to think about old people and pets.
It was, what, 2 days of heat?
Yeah. Well, I
It's-
think it was 92 degrees each stage.
Yeah, I know. And I was thinking, I was just in Las Vegas just, a month ago, and it was 114, and nobody was freaking out.
And nobody cared.
Nobody did.
When I was a kid, I grew up in New Jersey. During the summer, you just had these days. It's called summer.
Yeah.
And you know the way they would deal with it is they would push you outside and tell you to go find a friend with a pool or something.
Yeah, or if you didn't have that, you got a sprinkler.
Yeah.
Run outside and sprinkler.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it.
I come from a fancy area, John. Ride my bike out of my area into another, and I'm sure somebody had a pool.
Yeah.
Somebody knew somebody who had a pool.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who did. We just had sprinklers.
Not in ground.
It all depends on who had the better sprinkler, though. The ones that do the up and over, or the ones that go.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a hard choice. Those are kind of more fun because you get to jump over it.
You like those ones?
Yes.
Yeah, but you got too close, so they hurt.
Well, that's true. That's why.
Especially when you get it back on that part.
Well,
Yeah.
you were that dumb to get hit.
That's
So
dumb.
you, yeah.
Thing's fast.
Doesn't matter. You gotta learn how to jump.
Quick
Stupid,
burn
that's the
over
whole
there.
point. Yes.
Jeez, yeah, but you also want to get a little wet, right? That's kind of the idea.
Well, I understand that. That's why you hope for the spray on the way back,
Oh.
not the machine gun fire on the way forward.
And then a good old slip and slide. That was always a.
Oh, those were fun. Like where you
They
were
were fun, but you always hit a rock or a stick.
Yeah, that's it. You got
Always.
bruised, and you know something. You
Oh.
heck, I hit something.
Oh,
It's not like it's a totally smooth area. It's just some
Yeah.
idiot throwing like some plastic down in his yard.
Oh, that was just the worst. Yeah, there's always nobody ever cleared a path. You just said,
No.
yeah, here looks good.
Just throw it down. Take that end and go that way.
Oh, and you didn't walk on or anything. Just said that right there. There you go. Let's see how it is. You know, that sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the slip and slide was fun. It would just hurt like hell. And then you'd go off of it, and you get covered in grass and
Yeah, that's
dirt.
great. And thankfully, you know, as soon as you fell off the slip and slide, and you hit there, it was like the brakes got put on.
Oh my God! You go a scorpion.
Rip skin off you.
Your body would fold in half. Yeah, it was just so terrible.
It was almost like a NASCAR crash.
Yeah, definitely. And the slip and slide was just basically it was a tarp that was about 2 feet wide.
Yep.
And about 20 feet long.
Mike-
And that was it.
My grandmother used to have those all throughout her house, but she would just be covering her carpet with them. So
Yeah.
from the front door to the kitchen, there'd be one.
Oh yeah, slip and
the
slide
kitchen
inside
to
the
the
house.
living
That's
room.
nice.
No, they weren't slip and slides, but they were the material of the slip and slide. We used to take that stuff, go outside, throw some water on it, bang, got an afternoon of fun.
Yeah, and that used to be perfect.
Yeah,
Oh, I like that.
grand.
Slip and slide in Jersey. That sounds like fun.
I come from the highbrow side of town, John.
Yeah, but you don't see anybody do those outdoor summer things anymore. Like kids do none of that. You never see it.
No, I
I
don't
like
know.
when we were kids.
We, our generation has wrecked everything.
Yeah, it was us.
We did it. Yeah, we did it. The way we raise our kids
we were,
on.
we were just lazy.
Yeah, exactly. We're like, well, we
so
can either be parents or play Mario.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Get over there and play Mario.
I know I'm in my 30s.
I
you know what
really
mean?
play.
Oh yeah, the kid too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, let's play Contra. Me first. You sit down, do homework.
Hey, this World of Warcraft thing.
Yeah, pretty crazy though, because it's weird. You never see any of that,
No.
ever. I mean, I know the video games and all that crap and all that technology and everything, but never even in the summer, never kids running through sprinklers anymore. Is that just like an old thing to do? It's like if you did that, if you have kids now and you put a sprinkler out there, they look at you like you had 10 heads.
Yeah, I could just go to once again a friend's house who has a pool.
Yeah, maybe
run around in a sprinkler.
Maybe. Yeah, you really want me to run around with the dirt?
That's what they're doing here. The mayor of Boston, in all her wisdom, she declared some sort of summer emergency, and now that they have, I guess, all these different places where you can go, and they're basically slip and slides.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and cooling stations, I believe they're called.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
So there's like 20 some odd ones scattered throughout.
Oh.
And it's just the silliest thing you've ever seen.
Man,
but I think what's going to happen is, especially when they start doing the brownouts, you know what I mean? That's when people are really going to start bitching.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because we've been already getting the notices or notifications from National Grid saying, hey, between 2 and 7, you better chill out in the old power.
Yeah, don't make us turn you off.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is. I got 2 threats right in a row.
Yeah.
Back-to-back days last week.
Well, I also get this weird thing, and they've done this to me for a while, where they'll send you these reports and they'll say, you're using 872% more than your neighbors.
Yeah.
Like, look, man, I'm barely home. Like, what do you mean?
800% more.
I mean, what are they doing that I'm not? Like, what happened?
Yeah, I know. How are they so efficient?
Because I'd like a cheaper bill.
Yeah,
but is it just because nobody lives next door?
I guess
like,
not.
You know what I mean? The lights are never on. There's no refrigerator running.
Yeah, your neighbor is the landlord. And they're like, look, you're a landlord. They're saving lots.
It's amazing.
F you.
It is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I just think it's nuts. So in the way it is, because it is hot. I mean, all right, between 2 and 7, shut off your air conditioner. How about no?
Yeah, how about that's when, something you might say afterwards, let's store some energy up.
Yeah.
So everybody turn them off when it's night.
Yeah.
But not when it's hot out. Like, that's the whole point of an air conditioner, you dick.
You kind of have to have something to cool off a bit.
Look, man, I just spent a few $100 on this thing.
Yeah, I just bought it. I can't use it?
No, but during the winter I'm allowed.
Yeah, I know. I heard there was a heat wave coming, so guess what I did? I prepared for it and bought an air conditioner. What did you do? You did nothing but tell us to do something.
Yeah.
F you.
How about you up the grid?
Yeah, that's it.
Does this happen a lot?
Yeah, it seems to.
Well, I was watching the news yesterday, John, and apparently there's some breaking news going on about China.
Nice.
You know those apps like TikTok and all that stuff? Well, guess what? They were Chinese spy apps, and you idiots all
Get out of here, bro.
Because you wanted to see people dance for 3 seconds. You know what I mean? You bought into that, and they've cracked into everything.
Yeah.
They're also saying that I guess now that they can crack into our nuclear codes.
Cool.
And I guess the government didn't get McAfee or something.
Oh no, Norton.
No Norton, because I think they're worried that they're going to get viruses from things they've opened. Like, I don't know.
Really?
Like, I guess somebody that worked at one of these nuclear plants got some email that he may have won $1 million.
Son of a gun.
And he opened it. Next thing you know, it's a worm.
Yeah. Click here to claim your prize.
Listen, apparently he had a relative, or actually it wasn't a relative, it was a guy he'd never met before in Kenya. He was a millionaire, and he was coming to this country, needed somebody to hold on to the money for him. But you had to put a little bit of yours up, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he checked that out.
Son of a biscuit.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Poor guy, though, falls for all those scams by mistake.
Just amazing that our government is this inept. And then you look at the power grid, and when they start doing this brownout crap, well, once again, are we ever expanding the power grid? Are you thinking about this stuff? Like,
that's what's weird.
Happen? How do we prepare?
Yeah. I like how because a couple of years ago, when we talked about the Green New Deal, in 12 years we got to do this and switch it on over and everything, but not one move to actually increase the grid by any means whatsoever. So now you see again those 2 threats I got last week from National Grid saying, hey, you better shut off some power between 2 and 7, or we'll do it for you coming up in the near future. How about that? I mean, why do we have to put up with that? But yet they want to change everything from fossil fuels, gas, oil, to electric.
How about this?
How are you going to do that if you already can't support it?
Can we just start off at square one?
Yeah.
Here's the deal: if you're going to do something like that, like if you go into a business, you don't just one day say, hey, look, I'm the new boss, and everything changes today.
Right. We're going to change how we make the Big Mac.
Everything changes right this second.
No
Everything
more.
you do, we're doing the exact opposite.
We're not doing the all beef patty no more.
And we don't know if it's going to work. We don't know if we have the material. We don't know. It's kind of like when Obama put out that website for Obamacare.
Oh, yeah.
And it couldn't handle the traffic.
It crashed immediately, right?
It's just ridiculous. And they tried to pay billions of dollars once again. It was just
for a website.
Just for a website that you could have got for $9.99 from GoDaddy.
Man, GoDaddy, that's how they made their buck.
It wouldn't have crashed, I guarantee you.
Oh, my God.
Just totally inept, but it's because they don't say, okay, look, here's the idea, everybody. yeah, let's say the climate's whatever. We're going to switch over to electric. Obviously not today because our whole country depends on oil and things like that.
And the rest of the world.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so we can't just be us changing overnight, whatever. That'd be stupid. And you come up with a plan, and then you start to implement the plan, and slowly but surely you phase one out. You're the other bigger. You don't change everything, not knowing how it's going to work out.
Right.
And then being told that they don't have enough. They want us everybody to buy an electric car, but they don't have enough electricity between 2 and 7.
And that is incredible too. And then when you see all the places that you want everybody to buy those electric cars, and there's no filling stations when they are, you see them all over the place. The memes everywhere online that there are lines forever because so many people that have bought into this electric car thing. But there are no filling stations to support the electric car.
Why would you have made sure that you can support whatever you're about to give to the general public?
Yeah, I know. You
can
literally only go from like a 10-mile radius around your house.
That's ridiculous.
Too far, you get stranded.
And then the doors don't open. It's electric.
It's incredible. So it's like, wow, you really bought into all this hype. I mean, I get the idea, but no test run, no forethought, no thinking like, hey, what if? I mean, just the idea that we've had brownouts from our whole life. There, you hear different cities, major cities, New York,
LA, all of California.
Major cities having these brownouts because of power, and yet you just say, so what? We can still go everything electric. Whoop-de-doo. We'll just have a few more brownouts.
Listen, what we'll do is we'll just put more solar panels up.
Wow.
And more windmills.
Wow.
Just stupid. Like, once again, they don't think anything through. Their ideas, their theories, everything that the Democratic Party wants to do, it's a theory. You know what I mean? But never proven.
Yeah.
And then when they try, they don't just do it a little bit.
No.
Like, once again, for the people that voted for Joe Biden, which are a lot less than the 80 some odd million that they say did, do you really think that there's a plan to any of this? Like, he really just switched everything overnight, not knowing what was going to happen. We went from being the hottest economy on the planet to China taking us over. I mean, we have bowed down to China. We are getting extorted by the Ukraine.
Yeah.
That we're all
live as we speak, live on TV.
This guy's talking about, look, you better send more weapons our way, and we need some more cash.
This guy gets disgusted if we don't send him like $10 billion a day.
And
he literally gets disgusted with us.
We are being extorted.
Yeah.
And instead of because you couldn't tell us we were being extorted, because it's the Bidens, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of that, why wouldn't somebody step up and say, look, how about this? We gave you help once.
Yeah.
F you. Now they're demanding we send over military advisors.
Yeah.
Are you guys out of your minds?
Yeah.
And they're going to do it, by the way.
Of course. Why would they not? Got to help out the Ukraine, right? They're in desperate need.
Years.
They're being invaded. It's been 155 days.
Do you understand
of an invasion?
That when Donald Trump was president, everybody minded their manners.
Yeah.
Everybody knew not to step out of line.
Hey, mind your manners.
Hey, know where you is. You know what I mean? Don't make me smack you.
You better say please.
I mean, but for real, nobody hurt an American soldier over in Afghanistan, and what was it?
Nobody would ever think of it.
I mean, just because he would say to them, "You are one hair on one of our guys' heads, and I will blow your effing cities off the map."
Mm-hmm.
And now we have Iran that has a nuclear weapon, basically. They have it within weeks, they said. The delivery system, they can just get. I like when they go, well, they don't have the delivery system, the technology for the delivery system yet. I mean, I guess they could buy it from China.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that.
All you can do is just ship it UPS.
Yeah.
Be here in a day. All right, well, I guess they could have
you could literally just buy it. You don't have to develop it. You're on your own.
So stupid. Yeah, they kind of affiliate with those guys. They work together.
Just ridiculous, the mindset. And I'm watching this stuff, and they're doing this thing, by the way, how slanted the news is. It's crazy. They're talking about how Donald Trump, is back in Washington for the first time, facing possible charges. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like what? And then this January 6th nonsense committee. Now, first off, that's not a trial. You can't call it a trial. It's a committee of idiots who won't allow anybody who disagrees.
Right. It's so one-sided.
They don't, and I'll tell you, Liz Cheney's a douche. Like, what a douche. Like, she is amazingly bad. Her judgment is horrible. Who would vote for this hack?
Nobody. That's the problem. Nobody votes for these people.
Like, she's a shill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's all she is. I thought it was funny when, I guess Biden was talking about, what's his name again?
Manchin?
Yeah, Manchin the other day, right? And he basically was saying like something like he's got to go. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's not in the lockstep. And it's like, but wait a minute. You can't say you don't want him in your party because he disagrees with you, so
Right.
because he's a part of the party.
But doesn't that make it feel like, that's what goes on in day-to-day business in Washington?
Of course it
Because
does.
all these people like Liz Cheney and others that get elected, they're not elected, they're hired.
Yeah.
You know, and it's this election crap that the fake veil of, well, this is a legitimate election that we are given all this time. It's just
Well,
it's just that it's fake. It's not real.
I always thought it was bizarre that, you know, I used to say we were under the illusion of choice and freedom, because what they'll do is they'll say, look, how many people live in this country? What, 330 million?
That's all.
Okay. I'm going to dwindle it down to 2.
All right.
2 people, and you get to choose which one you want.
Yeah.
Now,
we found the 2.
yeah, apparently, because, you know, that's what the GOP and they do. They're the ones that really are going to nominate something. The runoffs, it always seems to me, if you've noticed, you have the ones they want to win and about 18 crazy people.
Yeah.
You know, or people
They are the nuts.
and they have these kooks that don't really know anything, but they
Yeah.
know that they just want to help, man.
Yeah.
You know, who's that hippie chick?
That earthy girl, yeah, she was a big time smarty pants in like IBM, wasn't she?
Oh, I
forget
think
her
she was
name.
also like some sort of writer or something.
She was, I forget her name.
Mary
Long
Ann
hair.
something or other.
Yeah, I forget. I might be getting, maybe the IBM was the other chick. I
Yeah,
forget.
hopefully she was. I mean,
She was very smart though.
This is the one that really didn't like Trump.
No,
but
she's
everything,
very earthy.
everything was to be solved with love.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how we should have the world work. And look, in theory, I totally agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, the rest of the world doesn't think like that.
Not
So
even close.
go up to Xi Jinping, whatever,
Yeah, I know.
and tell this guy, first off, you're a woman. You know what I mean? You don't understand the way they treat women. You don't understand how they treat people.
Yeah, and being a woman outside of this country that's where the issues are. I mean, in this country, yeah, we all support it, but
Of course.
outside of our culture, I mean, good luck. And that woman would have been a nightmare anywhere in the Middle East, overseas, no matter where.
You know, something.
Imagine her crossing the DMZ.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. These people don't, you know, they don't understand that the rest of the
No.
world is not as nice as we want it to be.
Wasn't it like Marianne Williamson?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, yep. It's just, and once again, in theory, I totally agree with her. But other than that, but then they all push that same lie. You know, like you understand, like, you know, listen, man, I don't agree with anybody 100% of the time. I think that if you say you do, you're lying.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And as far as, you know, going with the Republicans or Democrats, I kind of looked at them and said, look, if it's going to be, you know, Mitt Romney, I'm not going to vote for that dick. You know what I mean? But I'm also not going to vote for Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? You're putting up these
They
duds.
give you nothing.
Yeah, and then
It happens every election.
It does. And then when you had somebody like Trump, who you could say he was the wild card, whatever, he was a guy who kind of was like the Marianne Williamson, but on the other side of it, where he was just blunt.
Yeah.
Like he's just like, look, let's stop, you know, sugarcoating crap. You know, we got issues. We got to deal with these things, or we're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Definitely.
And when he dealt with them, things started working out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now we have this doddering moron.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I hate how the elections work anyway. I mean, even with Presley here in Massachusetts, you know, when she ran against nobody.
Yeah.
And so how,
And it wasn't a landslide either. That was weird.
Yeah, it's so bizarre. And I don't know how that should be handled, but if you're running against nobody, I would think that should just be abolished. You just don't have that position available. Obviously, it wasn't enough or whatever. I don't know what you do. You know, but
maybe somebody in power appoints somebody to it as opposed to having it's just being some moron that's the only one running that gets it.
It's really
These are important
ridiculous.
positions.
It's really ridiculous. And you see this happen every single election cycle, and it sucks.
Well, you know, the Democratic Party had that weird deal with Bernie Sanders, where what they would do is they would give Bernie the nomination, he would decline it,
Yeah.
and then they wouldn't give it to anybody else. So he would run unopposed,
Oh,
you know, by the Democratic Party.
no biggie.
Just amazing that they made that type of deal. That's stupid. Like, you know, just so they could say they had a winner,
Yeah.
you know,
How does
because
that
they
make
were afraid
sense?
of Bernie.
Yeah.
You know, they're the ones that handed Bernie any type of power, because normally, and I don't care if you're from Vermont or anywhere else, this guy's a socialist idiot. But when you look at the hypocrisy of his life, then you go, wait a second here. This guy's playing a part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You kind of,
You can see it. You can see it.
Of course it
Then
is.
they did the exact same replay in the second election. Like, what are you guys doing? And that's how how they
But Bernie
treat
had a
us.
haircut this time.
That's true. It was much cleaner.
Yeah, he didn't look as crazy.
How can they actually try to do that and pull the wool over people's eyes and they fall for it? I mean, they did that play in 2016. They did it again in 2020. The same Bernie Sanders.
But remember this, though. If you think about it, the Democratic Party has been very vocal as of late of how it's not your grandmother's.
You're true.
You know, they don't care.
Yeah,
they don't care if you don't like it either.
That's true. They're right. They are really in your face about, we don't care. We're lying to you. We're going to pull the wool over you, and that's it.
Well, because they also say
Yeah,
stuff like, you know, maybe this isn't your party anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This isn't your mother's Democratic Party. They told pro-choice women, maybe this isn't, I'm sorry, pro-life women, rather.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this isn't your party anymore. You know what I mean? Like, maybe you don't agree with us, so why don't you get out?
Isn't that weird?
It's a bizarre thing. That's when you can tell the party's been taken over. And then you, on the other side, you think you have more of a Braveheartish type of attitude of saving the country, as opposed to having your hacks up there trying to sell a book.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, for the love of God, Lindsey Graham is like one of the most profound authors, I guess. I don't know because I've never read anything, but apparently he has 74 bestsellers.
He was the most, I believe it was him the other day, but someone was being interviewed and I was flipping around. I know it had to be on Fox, and it was on Hannity, so I'm pretty damn sure it was Lindsey Graham. And the hypocrisy that was coming out of this clown's mouth, because he was saying, well, my counterparts on the other side, all they're trying to do is sell books, and they're not getting anything done, and going on and on. I believe it was Lindsey Graham. If it wasn't him, it was somebody just like
hilarious.
him. But in the GOP doing that, and it's like, really? That's exactly what you and all of your constituents, whatever that stupid word is, that's what you all do. I mean, every one of you, that's how you make a buck. That's how you make more money.
Once again, career politician.
Yeah,
They're playing the game. That's why when, I think it happened probably in the 80s or 90s, when there became a look to being a politician, when there was this more polished, your hair ported on the left side, like
that car salesman look.
Yeah, we've all always said, even like, they had to put Pence with Trump because Pence looks presidential.
Yeah.
He's a dick.
Yeah.
He's an idiot. He's weak. But he does look presidential. Joe Biden, believe it or not, before the frail stuff, looked pretty when he was rocking the sunglasses, kind of looked presidential.
Definitely.
He looked like Martin Sheen in that stupid TV show.
Yeah.
But, that's when it started becoming more like a car salesman thing. It was more about your appearance. And like when Bill Clinton went on Arsenio Hall and played the saxophone.
Oh, man.
That was the epitome of selling out.
How charismatic, though.
Yeah, but everybody wanted it. Something, he's the type of guy you can have a beer with.
Oh, man.
And he's cheating on his wife. I don't know. That ain't none of my business.
Yeah, we could definitely have a beer with him. Cheating on his wife, talk about it. Hey, how'd that go?
Hey, something? This whole Monica thing, how was it?
Yeah, tell me the truth.
Was it worth it?
Were you really on the phone with world leaders?
Because I'm just going to say this.
Misnomer?
You didn't pay any price for it, but she did.
Yeah.
And the whole point of it.
She kind of did, boy. Was it worth it for her?
Yeah.
If you asked her,
was it that good?
If you could do it all over again.
The dress, huh?
What would you do, Monica?
Would you do it over again?
Yeah. If you had a choice.
Wait.
I know you would, Bill. I know you would.
Yeah. This sex.
The whole 26 times that Lolita Island says so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know you would have done it all.
Yeah, now the sex act is actually known as her name.
Yeah,
for a few years.
It still is. It still is. That's
Lewinsky in the parking lot.
Yeah, you search that name in any porn site, and you'll be happy for hours. It's just amazing.
They have a lot of parodies.
Yeah, they really do. Fittingly, it's so weird though how both their lives just kind of really went. She just went away until when she had that Netflix special. Didn't she have a special somewhere?
Oh, I'm sure she tried to make some sort of money off of that.
I don't blame her.
Yeah,
but I'm saying recently, like within a year ago. Yeah, within the past year. Or whatever.
I don't keep up with her.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I really don't know. And then he just, kept on being Mr. Oblivious president, going on doing his thing.
He just blew it off, and he started a war, and everybody forgot.
Yeah. How do I distract from this little infidelity incident? I know.
See, but at least they were smart enough. They did that a few times back in the 80s and 90s. You go in and invade like Grenada or something like that. And it was always to deflect from some sort of thing they didn't want you to know about. But the thing was, they chose something easy. Like, not everybody knew we win in Grenada like in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Like when we first went even into, Pakistan or Afghanistan or Iraq, they were just throwing their hands up as we were driving in.
Yeah.
Like that was almost.
Oh, baby.
But that was effing ridiculous. But at least they were easy. This moron is going to dodder us into World War III.
Yeah.
You got China, North Korea, Iran, Russia on one side, and the Ukraine and us on the other.
Yeah, I mean, cut the crap.
I mean,
Ukraine and us.
How about this?
All right, Ukraine, let's go get them. You in?
Let's figure it out this way. And I hate to even say this, but as a country, if we're no longer the world power, we better step back a little then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
Gotta step back and
I agree.
And stop giving our weapons away.
That's so true. Why are we being busybodies still all over the place? We're weak as F.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't make sense. We're sticking our nose in everybody's business.
Yeah, the bravado doesn't mean anything anymore.
Right now, we're literally taunting China with Nancy Pelosi.
Holy crap, I don't believe that.
And they even said, oh, yeah, I think Biden said, oh, yeah, what are you going to do about it? What?
Yeah, me too, behind the schoolhouse.
Oh, you shut up. I mean, this isn't the time for all this crap.
Really
I mean, talk about spreading yourself thin, you idiot.
Look what you've done to the military.
You're using like, of all people, Nancy Pelosi, that's the one you're like, oh, yeah? Don't make us do it. We'll send that bitch right over.
Listen, man, here's the problem. And this is so horrible, bad movie-ish to me. She has to go.
All of them have to.
Yeah, like
I mean, think of the top 3 right now because we're damned if we do in every scenario.
Yeah, because if she, but the problem is now, if she goes, they made the threat. China don't make threats.
I know.
China, like if you notice, like before all this, you didn't really hear a lot about China except for the slave labor.
Yeah.
And they made cheap stuff.
Yeah.
$20 store was full of the stuff they made. That's all I knew about China.
And our shelves were stocked.
Yeah, everything I had, you would almost assume you walked into a Chinese restaurant when you went into my apartment. Everything was made in China.
That's right.
You know, just ridiculous.
Man.
You know, but now all of a sudden they're like, hey, we'll take military action against your Secretary of State.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying. They're not saying Nancy Pelosi, by the way. Because everybody's going, oh, she's kind of a bitch.
Yeah.
Listen, they're not saying Nancy Pelosi. They're saying, hey, everybody, the United States of America's Secretary of State, you come anywhere near us, we will kill you. And we mean it.
That's hilarious.
That's horrible. That's terrifying.
It's just...
And then you got this blithering idiot that's saying, well, maybe I don't know, should she go? Somebody tell me what to say.
Biden literally was quoted saying the other day, well, he's in quarantine, so yeah, well, what are you going to do about it? Like literally saying, what are you going to do about it?
Oh my God.
First off,
that's not very diplomatic.
It's not at all. I mean, and you're talking to China about this. It's not like you're talking to the Ukraine, you know. and it's just.
You mean the country that has what, nukes and a billion people?
And it's Nancy Pelosi. Like, why the F are you jeopardizing our whole existence with Nancy Pelosi?
Yep.
Like, just
not a clue.
If it were somebody else that was a little bit more meaningful to us and our future, I'd be like, all right, cool, get in there, chief, and fight for us.
Well,
but her,
you know, here's the problem too.
Like,
it's not like they said, well, if she comes over, we'll just strike her there.
Yeah.
They were saying against us.
Yeah.
Against America
directly.
Like, you know, so whatever you want to play this game, we'll play.
Yeah.
And that's terrifying because once again, we just left almost, what was it, $100 billion worth of equipment?
Yep.
You know, back in Afghanistan. We've decimated our military. You know how many people, I didn't even, you know how they used to talk about this, but then they stopped? I guess they came out with a stat the other day that was saying how many people that had a lot of experience that were either EMTs, doctors, police, or military, right, have retired over the last 2 years.
Mm.
And the number's staggering. Like it's people that weren't even anywhere near retirement. They just said, I'm not doing this job anymore.
Really? No. I don't blame them.
Yeah, I don't blame them, but
is the number, I know, right? Is the scary thought though. So is the early retirement numbers up and the new people coming in? I mean,
no, the new people coming in aren't coming in like that.
So it dwarfed.
Yeah. Well, what they do, and this is how they try to hide it. Remember how they, like, I think it was de Blasio in New York canceled some the training for the cops and like no new police academy stuff and on and on.
Yeah.
But what they'll do now is they'll make the classes bigger. They'll say, one of the biggest classes ever.
Yeah.
Just graduated. Yeah, I mean, by this time last year, there'd be 4 classes that graduated.
Oh.
So, so this one had 10 more people than it normally would.
One of the biggest classes ever, 2022.
Yeah, just ridiculous.
Yeah, just like, so dumb.
Like, we're living in a very stupid time, but the government is putting us at risk at every turn. And once again, what do you do now with Nancy Pelosi?
I don't know. I mean,
do you just have to admit we're weak and not send her?
No, I don't think
I think you do. I think you do. Honestly, I think you have to back down. I don't think sending Nancy Pelosi over there is going to do any good for anybody.
No, I think it's just taunting them, and it's because what's the reason she's going over anyway?
show her support for something.
Yeah, that goes against the Chinese government. So what are you doing?
Or what, Taiwan or whatever.
That's the equivalent of us just supplying Ukraine with funds and military aid and whatever to fight Russia. What are you doing?
Well, they're also saying, look, we don't trust you, you know, enough to have anything with you around us, because once again, we know how China feels about all this. We know that they want that area. They think it's theirs. They don't even understand that there's any discussion about it. And the fact that we're saying, well, if you do that, we'll go to war with you over this little dick area that, you know, whatever. I'm sorry, man. Let them defend themselves. And if they can't, sorry. I mean, that's just the way the world works.
We're not. Why do we have to get our nose into it?
Yeah, so now all of a sudden that you're going to bring us to the point where we could get nuked.
Yeah.
Or a nuclear bomb is used ever. You know what I mean? Like, and because we don't want that. You know what I mean? So if you're that's over, you know,
we don't want
that.
No.
But that's how you have to talk to these people, John.
Yeah.
Because they don't understand it, and it's common sense.
We really not like the big old missiles flying over here and landing in our neighborhoods and cities.
And for what reason? Like, I hear Biden all the time telling me that if the Ukraine loses, the world loses. Well, can you explain that?
Yeah, how does that make any sense?
You know, can you explain?
Does that mean if the Ukraine loses, we lost?
And does it mean that we always have to now be against Russia and whatever? Like, so no matter whatever happens now, we're always against them.
Yeah, it has to be.
Like, at one point, when you think, hey, look, I would prefer it if we tried not to kill each other. Kind of like what we did for a little while.
Yeah, maybe that's what like President Trump, what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
You know, when he kept saying, hey, you know something, yeah, we get it, they're our enemies, but wouldn't it be great to work with them?
Exactly.
You know, I mean, it'd be kind of nice if they did their own thing, had their own peace, we had ours. What's the big deal?
And they'll say, oh, Putin's puppet.
No.
Like, no, it's called, you know, surviving.
Yeah.
And getting along with people. And it's like, look, I disagree with you wholeheartedly. I'm not going to support certain things, but we should have an agreement that we don't kill each other.
Yeah.
It's like gangs having, you know, you think gangs in LA should have these peace treaties. The same thing here.
I remember as a kid just thinking that when everybody used to talk about World War III, and all that as a kid, and thinking, you know, how come we're just not like, hey, everybody, you don't want a war. We don't want a war. Why don't we just say you do your thing, we do ours? I remember having a class about that. And now we're at this point yet again, still saying, oh, yeah, well, F you, China, F you, Russia, for no reason.
It doesn't make sense.
It's really stupid.
And once again, to know that we are the biggest and only, you know, what's that?
No, I thought you moved the camera.
Oh, no. Biggest, man, I kicked the computer over, sorry. But we're, you know, the biggest one of our own allies, like meaning we don't have a lot of backup here.
Right.
We just don't. So if you're looking at it logistically, you know, you'd probably say, well, our military is a lot weaker since, you know, Milley got in there and just totally sort of worrying about pronouns and not training.
Yeah.
So now, yes.
Oh, my God.
There are probably 26, and I might be shooting high. Let's say 12. So there are 12 now transsexual people in our military services somewhere. So that was really worth what you did, making, I don't know, 20% of people that were in there with any experience retire. That could have made it careers for life, but they didn't want to get the coronavirus shot, or they you know, they used the wrong pronoun when they spoke to somebody in the military.
Yeah.
Like, go watch Full Metal Jacket.
I mean, because if you're making our men and women of the military do that, what are you making them do on the battlefield? We know when we interviewed that kid that time, a long time ago, when he was in the middle of the battlefield, and I forget whereabouts he was, might have been Iraq. And he was over there, and he knew where there was a house full of terrorists, and they were watching them, they were staking them out. And they could have just got rid of them. They could have just eliminated that whole house full of these a-holes that were just planning on things against us. But they couldn't do a damn thing, and they were told by the up aboves that said, no, you can't engage unless they start shooting at you first.
Yeah, they have to take the first shot.
Are you kidding me?
That's the PC war we're trying to fight.
Jeez, because that country would not, those people rather, would not be doing that. Those people in that house, they're not going to be looking and say, oh, well, let's wait for those Americans to shoot first, and if they shoot, then we can shoot.
And by the way, when they, you know, don't ever forget how what savages certain people are.
Of course.
Meaning, like, they get you alive.
Yeah.
And the way they treat, the way that they would treat you as a traitor to, you know, whatever. You know what I mean? Like
a torture.
Yeah. I mean, and they've done it. They've set people on fire. Remember that for a while there were those videos of setting people on fire, drowning people, and
like cutting fingers off.
Yeah, just horrible.
Just
cutting heads off.
Yeah, all that stuff.
You know what I mean?
What are you doing?
But that's what we're dealing with, and we have people on that side that are that crazy. Okay, And we have people on our side that are worried about you saying ma'am or sir.
Yeah, or way too
dude,
soft.
Or
Imagine,
guys.
just way too soft. I
Yeah.
mean, you're in the middle of a battle and you gotta be like, oh, hold on a second. I just don't know what pronoun they would like to use before I try to engage with, fire.
Why do we have to fight, by the way? Can't we just, and once again,
boy.
this is, once again, the world you want to live in, I understand. Go listen to the Grateful Dead and think if everybody hugged each other, it would be great.
Mhm.
And I agree with you. It would be great. Problem is, there are other countries out there with people that aren't brought up like that. And they really hate our guts. Like when they're, when you go to the Iran thing and you see them chanting death to America, that's not a joke.
Yeah.
That's not them saying death, well, I mean figuratively. I don't mean I want anybody to have any harm. Like they want us to die. Okay, that's the reality. So
Literally.
you have to understand that and then deal with that on that level.
Yep.
You cannot have a weak leader. And we have a very weak leader.
Very.
And the fact that he's now going to pick a fight, though, with China after he's already picked a fight with Russia. So now we're going to go against friggin' the two biggest countries in the world. And
while we're also kind of flirting with a fight with Iran.
exactly.
It's like,
And North Korea is test firing their missiles
bring them
again.
all in. It's just, you can see what's going on. It's like the writings on the wall that we're just like picking a fight with everybody.
By the way, there's energy shortages and food shortages too, just in case you weren't scared enough.
And we're being invaded by our southern border.
Yeah. But other than that,
Yeah, we're cool.
and there might be another monkeypox pandemic.
Yeah, no biggie, whatever.
Which-
Ed Milburn saying estimated amount of active military personnel to be let go because they refused to take the COVID vaccine is over 250,000.
That's crazy.
That is a lot of people.
That is crazy. With all that,
Our
think about that
military.
experience.
Oh my
All that
God.
experience. Because do you want the guy, like first and foremost, a guy like that or people like that, you want to stay as long as possible.
Yeah, of
obviously.
course, yeah, definitely.
I know that there's a lot of pride within that. You know what I mean? And you could literally make the military your career and it's amazing.
Yeah.
And instead, you got, once again, maybe 12 guys that like to be called women's names.
Yeah.
And they're going to be the ones now that take the place of the 250,000.
Oh my God.
Just
That
stupid.
really works out well.
It's stupid.
That's a great way to really deplete your military.
This is, think about this. This is what they've done to us. And it started over the last, few decades. Now, I know in New York, I think it was in Brooklyn, actually, I believe, there was a woman that kept trying out to be a fire person, right? And she would pass, the written stuff and all that. But when it came to the physical stuff, she wasn't doing that well. So I guess there's something where to be a fire person in New York, you have to be able to, pick up a body that somebody's passed out maybe and carry them up or down 5 or 10 flights of steps, something like that. It's a lot,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? And you're in full gear and all that stuff. And then I guess there was another one where you had to drag a body or something and on and on. So she just couldn't do it. She took the test 100 times, or not, ridiculous. She took it a few times, but she kept
A
failing.
million times she took the test.
I know, but she took it quite a few times, kept failing. So instead of them saying, hey, work hard or whatever, they said, hey, look, instead of you doing that, you'll only have to do it
Ugh.
this way. But what they did was they just put everybody now, wherever she goes, at risk.
Yeah.
Because if one of her partners, a fireman, or she finds somebody who needs help, but they're, 110 pounds, not 70 pounds.
Right.
They're
Right.
asked-
Now you're putting somebody in jeopardy because she can't do the work.
Exactly.
It's not
But
because she's
we did
Please.
need more women on the
It's
force.
not because she's a female she didn't make it, or she wouldn't have made it. It's because she just couldn't do it.
Wasn't strong
It
enough.
doesn't matter. That could have been a guy. It doesn't matter what sex the person is.
Of course.
How ridiculous is that? I don't want people like that on my fire department, on the police force, whatever. If they can't do the physical part of the test.
But
Even when you see a fat cop,
That bothers me.
oh, it's
That really
irritating.
bothers me.
Irritating.
Then don't go to Logan Airport.
Yeah.
And that's where they put them, and they act like that's like the cushy job part, but I don't think it. I mean,
it
granted,
shouldn't be.
I was about to say, granted, yes, you're glorified trap meter maids and whatever there, but
But when you need it.
I was about to say, but when you have like the people inside, the ones outside are normally fat. I don't want to see the big fat guy behind the desk because is he going to chase down the guy with the gun?
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
the terrorist or whatever?
Yeah.
Like, what is he going to do? I mean, I understand that you have a certain quotas you probably have to hit, or if they have the job and then gain 600 pounds, you're not going to do anything.
Mm.
But when, there's 4 of them and not one of them can get off a chair.
It's got to be that physical test all the time.
Yeah,
I
you
think
and have to qualify every
Yeah.
6 months or so.
you have to. It's just the way it is.
They do with shooting.
And it's not that you get fired. I think you just get put in a different position within the business.
Oh, and after a while, you get fired.
Yeah, like detective or something. Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, after a while, I mean,
Man, it's ridiculous.
there should be standards. That's
I
all.
hate that when I see it.
But we've lowered the standards for everything, and that's why, once again, our military, we just had, we replenished almost everything to then give it all away. Like, we literally gave a lot of it away. Now, I love the defense of the left when I go, stop, it wasn't all. We gave away almost $100 billion worth of weapons.
Yeah.
It's a lot of effing weapons. And the technology of it. I mean, like, we gave away a lot of crap right there.
And we gave them a lot of Americans, too.
Yeah, that are still there. Some of them, the ones that are still surviving.
Yeah, exactly. We gave them a lot of weaponry and a lot of Americans.
We gave them a country.
Yeah, and we gave them a country.
I mean, this is incredible.
Yeah, whole country in a weekend.
Yeah, and then was told, and I'll tell you something, when I remember, I'll never forget it, they were talking to Biden about that thing where there was one video that they kept showing over and over again. There was a bunch of people that were running down a runway as a plane was taking off. And they're basically begging the plane to stop so they can get in, but I guess the plane's full. So the plane's in such a rush, like it sees that it's surrounded by hundreds of people. So instead of just stopping, for safety reasons, they kept going. And people were grabbing onto the plane and grabbing onto the wheels as it took off. And people were crushed because when the wheels went up into the wheel well, it just crushed these poor people.
Man.
There are pictures of people that were falling off the planes and were holding onto it as it was taking off. And Joe Biden actually said something ridiculous like, "Oh, come on, man, that was like last Friday."
Yeah, imagine.
Like that was, and by the way, he was wrong on the date too. It was like, actually, it wasn't 3, 4. It wasn't 5 days away, Joe. It was 3.
Yeah, it just didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, like.
And those people they were literally stuck in wheel wells.
Do you understand?
Skydiving with no parachute.
Do you understand that if that were a Trump thing,
they'd still be talking about it.
Calling a murderer. We'd be seeing the families of the people.
You're right.
That died and had their reaction of no longer having a father.
We'd be remembering that date. We'd know the date it was.
Yep.
Because anything bad under Trump that has a date to it, January 6th. We all know it.
I'll tell you once again. I think sometimes go to a bar or go to a place that has a bunch of TVs and I go to a place where they have, it's mostly news. So it's MSNBC, CNN, Fox, then like 2 of the local crap channels. And to see the difference in reporting, it's amazing when it's side by side. And don't get me wrong, Fox is just as bad. And by the way, they've been taken over. And all of a sudden they had Cheney and other people on the other day and weren't going after her.
Yeah, Dr. Fauci was on with Bret Baier the other day.
Yeah, Bret Baier, and I think he's going with Liz Cheney too.
No, did he?
Yeah, so just amazing.
Bret went at him a little bit, that Fauci a little bit.
I think enough to where it almost looks like he did something, but not where he was really being forceful, saying, all right, let's cut the crap, dude.
Yeah.
Just give me the goddamn answer.
But you got to the point where Dr. Fauci was like, Bret, come on, I know you, I know your family, come on, Bret.
I don't know, I think it's all,
I hate that crap.
I think it's an act. I don't believe any of it anymore because
I'm not buying it.
When you heard Birx the other day say that we knew the vaccines didn't work.
Yeah.
Holy crap, that woman came out and said, we knew that. I remember you and your stupid scarf.
Unbelievable.
Up there for hours telling everybody if you're a proud American that wants to save lives, you're going to go get this vaccine that has a 95%.
Yeah. Now it's got a 10% chance of helping out with COVID.
Well, they also said that for that to work, you would have to go at least once a year and get a booster now. I think that was the CEO of Pfizer the other day came out and said this. So wait a minute. So that booster that was one shot that was going to last you a lifetime that turned into the shot and instant boosters. Yeah. Now it's barely lasts you a year, and the protection it gives you is like nothing.
Crazy, right?
So it's almost like everything that people said that got fired from jobs or whatever was right.
Mm-hmm.
They were right not to trust you. They were right not, and then to have Fauci the other day saying, I think I'm going to retire when Biden's out. By the way.
Yeah. It's just amazing because that's it. It's amazing because we saw that happening from the get-go, and we all realized like, oh, cool. If a vaccine comes out, that's awesome. During the height of the coronavirus, cool. If a vaccine comes out for that, but then you made it mandatory, and you made people lose their jobs. You're still making people lose their jobs over it. So it's past that point where, hey, try this vaccine, like the flu vaccine. Everybody's taking the flu vaccine.
That would have been the easiest way to do it, but there had to be some reason they had to bankrupt the country.
Yeah,
bankrupt the world, really.
Definitely.
Because I'm telling you, there was a power money shift. I know that, and I know this sounds crazy, but if you read some of those medieval type of books or read those stories sometimes, they always talk about how, I forget how many families or whatever it is run the country, or run the world rather.
Mm-hmm.
And there's sometimes that there are money shifts, there are power shifts, right? So
I believe
America was just riding high from the 80s and 90s and all that stuff. You know, we got taken down, you know, in 9/11, you know, and then our economy slowly has done what it's done. It's also, once again, like the stock market, if you judge about the stock market, it looks phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But it really, back in the old days, not everybody was in the stock market, so it was a lower number. So lower moves meant bigger things, and now it's just, that's why you see these drops of 1,000 points, and people just maybe we'll make it up tomorrow.
That's
What are you
crazy.
talking about?
Yeah.
You know, like, but we've weakened our country in every way possible.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, and now once again, they're holding our energy over our head. They're holding food shortages over our heads. Our money is becoming worthless.
I just think it's going to get worse.
We're disarming ourselves.
Yeah.
We're being threatened now by China, and have a response of from our president. Oh yeah,
I know.
Says you.
Well, that's what I don't understand about the whole Nancy Pelosi thing. When we're now kind of threatening that we're going to send her over. And that's just it's a weird thing to threaten.
Yes. Hey, we don't like her either.
Yeah, don't make us do it. We got a one-way ticket. That's her name on.
Yeah, hey, look, we'll get her another ticket on the way back if we need to.
Yeah, I know. Don't make us.
Just go to Travelocity and get a one-way.
She is dumb as a stump. She doesn't even know this is coming. Don't blow it.
But here's the problem once again. It's not Nancy Pelosi they don't like, which, you know, is, I'm sure they don't like her. But, you know, and they don't respect her. But it's the office that she holds, the title that she holds. That's the terrifying part.
Kind of a big one.
Anything happens to her, we are at war.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's
yeah, you're getting third in charge, third in command.
Yeah. I mean, like, holy, that's an act of war. I mean, yeah, and it's on.
Yeah.
So to have this once again over her needing a photo op.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, I don't get that they're sending these politicians, these do-nothing politicians over to those countries for those photo ops. I think it's stupid. Even the ones with Zelensky, I think it's a joke. You're sending them over to a war zone, a literal war zone, where you have a major country attacking, well, allegedly attacking you. You can say allegedly, right?
Yeah, I think it's allegedly.
Yeah, so you have this country allegedly attacking you for 155 days, and you're going to send over our top politicians while that's happening? Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, once again,
stupid.
We're only almost at war with Russia. Why not throw China?
Yeah, it's just,
this is just the dumbest move.
It is so pathetic.
But once again, and I hate to repeat myself, and I know I do it a lot, but this is obviously intentional. I mean, it's obvious. Like it's we read that Art of War thing the other day, and it's almost like check.
Yeah.
You know, cut off food supplies. Well, they already showed us. They did a test run of that.
Oh my God! Everything. I think that's what COVID was.
Of course it was.
All the lockdowns. That was just a test run. You know, it was like, all right, stop this, stop that, stop this. Let's see how they react. Oh, they're not bad.
Well, you know what? Yeah, they listened.
Yeah.
Here's the crazy thing, and this is what I don't understand. I know the WHO yesterday, and I believe we did as well. I think Biden talked about it yesterday, but I guess now monkeypox is the new pandemic.
Okay.
And
it sounds gross.
It's gross. It is. It's like chicken pox, but big blistery things all over you, and they're like itchy. I think.
But they, is it something that only?
It's like chicken pox, but they're monkeypox.
Yeah. I heard. Isn't it something that right now only gay men can get?
No. Well, that's what not only gay men can get.
Okay.
Bisexual men too.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess the men who just slept with other men can, but men who occasionally sleep with men can get it too, because it seems like it's passed from man to man. It seems that.
How about transgender men? So, or transgenders who were male now female.
Okay.
Can they get it?
Yes, depending on who they're with.
All right. Can they get pregnant?
Oh man.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Not those
I was about to say. It's not that I didn't want to answer. I just totally forgot where
it was. A male transition to female.
Then,
okay, just checking.
Yeah. So, but the point being, John, you know, I don't know. That's just it's amazing that we're so weak right now, and we're acting like we're going to send Nancy Pelosi over to start something. It's just this isn't
She's
normal.
Gonna go buck up the sheet.
This isn't normal.
What? You want to go?
Yeah.
What? Okay. You won't hit me.
Yeah.
You won't, and then he smashes her in the face.
Yeah, not good.
No,
you know, it's definitely not a good thing. And you know, like I said, they have shut down our food. They have shut down our energy. You know, well, not totally, but they're making it too expensive to afford.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the other thing too. They instead of saying we have a massive shortage, that's why the price is so high, stupid. They're saying, well, you know, it's demand too.
Yeah.
You know, they're basically
People will need all this stuff.
every excuse. It's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know that the fact that they're not going to say that we're in a recession, even though for the last 1,000 years the definition has been 2 down gross GDP numbers. You know,
yeah, but that's not the new definition of a recession, though, Brian.
And you know what I love is,
I mean, come on.
did you see how it said, like, after it said that, it goes like, and business people and stuff like that agree. Like,
Yeah.
like a kid.
Yeah, and those types of stuff.
Yeah,
You're right.
exactly.
It was just like a kid wrote it. And it's so stupid that now you change. Now, after all this time, now you're changing the definition of recession. Well, technically,
Well,
it's
we're
not
in
really
one.
guys. You said, you know something? You always got to be so picky at words we use. You know?
And you're right, and it's funny because they don't even, and they try. I don't want to say they don't see, because you'd have to be really stupid.
I mean, come
They
on.
don't acknowledge the
How
fact
can
that
they not, though?
but-
I mean, it's always been too.
I've watched MSNBC yesterday, John. They were the economists, quote unquote, saying, well, they do have a point. They don't have a point. The reality of it
well,
is,
no, they have a point, but their point's effed.
2 down gross GDP numbers in a row, it indicates you're in a recession.
Yeah.
And you're heading to a depression, especially when you add the inflation on top of that.
And
That's not even saying almost a 10% inflation rate.
yeah. And so those GDP numbers, how often do they come out?
Every quarter.
All right, so every quarter. So it's a half a year?
Yeah, John, that's a quarter. A quarter of a year is
Quarter of a
3
year?
months.
Quarter of a year?
Yeah.
So I'm saying, no, isn't that weird, though, that we are just acting like, well, no, it's only like a week span.
Yeah.
It's a big deal, dog.
Listen, for the last 6 months, it
You're
sucks. I
talking
agree.
about a long period of time.
Here, you know what you're going to hear, by the way? You're going to hear Putin's price hikes. You're going to hear everything, but you're going to hear Trump.
Yeah.
You're going to hear everything, but I turned our energy supply off.
Yeah.
And everybody saw how immediately it affected the economy adversely. And I mean,
I mean, not
prices
one
went through the
time.
roof.
Not one time can you look back at just that one move and be like, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
No, I don't think.
I mean,
I don't think he's
at one
capable of. I don't think.
Because they know that. I mean,
Because that's the plan, though.
yeah, no, because they're not stupid. The problem is they're stupid about their execution because they were so blatant about it. They didn't think of an excuse or a reason that they could give us to say, no, this is the reason why we did that. Silly. You know, at least with the coronavirus and the vaccine and everything, you say, well, listen, get the vaccine so you can save like your neighbor's grandparents.
Exactly.
You know, I mean,
what are you, a murderer?
yeah. So at least they had like a built-in excuse. With this is nothing. We shut down we shut down the oil, and the gas prices are through the roof. Shit. Nothing we can do about that, guys. Sorry about it.
That has been Biden's answer when he
Yeah.
was dumb enough to answer them. Remember when he would
Blame
say,
Putin.
"Get used to it,"
Yeah.
and then he said, and when he slipped twice, and he did this twice, and you could tell it was a slip, and that's why they probably have more medicated now than ever. When he said, "Yo, those food shortages are going to be real," you'll see.
Yeah.
Like, wow, like that's a horrible thing to say.
Yeah, you'll see. Watch. Mark my
Yeah.
words.
And he's like, "I'm not joking."
Gonna be a bitch.
And he said it like twice,
Yeah.
2 different times. He was like, "Yo, those food shortages are gonna suck, man."
Yeah.
So I go get some beefaroni now.
Yeah, you
Make
was
that
stock
shit
up.
last.
Get some of that Campbell's. Yeah, that's good.
Get a gun, by the way.
Yeah.
You get to defend your food.
Oh my God.
Otherwise, you're just shopping for someone else.
Because that's just it. That's when money becomes worthless. People just rob you for your food.
Yeah, of course.
That's terrifying.
Of course.
Because that's a whole nother level.
Yes.
I mean, that's just like, they'll go into anybody's house because you think, oh crap, somebody's got to have food.
And then what do? You gotta hide your food. And hope,
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh.
and you have to defend it.
Hide your cans of soup under your mattress.
Crazy as it is, man, that can happen very quickly.
Yeah, it really can. But
Yeah.
now you're
What
supposed
was
to
that, Venezuela?
Yeah,
Remember that?
that's right. But you're supposed to just sit back and let everything happen.
Well, that's why when, and that's something too that we don't like to admit as a country anymore. It's weird. But we've seen other countries fall for this. Recently, yeah, we've seen this disease happen. So what that means to me is this isn't just an idea that's being spread. This is an organization that has gone and taken over other countries, by pushing their will and saying, no, it's a democracy, but we're taking over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because in your democracy, I have the right to run.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's the only reason Bernie Sanders can run. He's a socialist scumbag.
Yeah.
You know
You're
what I mean?
right.
But the reason he can run is because in this country, even though he's a socialist scumbag, he has the right to run.
Unbelievable. Yeah, you're right. But it is kind of weird that they suppress the people that are totally on the other side.
Well, that's because they've taken over now.
Yeah.
They've literally taken over. They've won.
And they would clearly say, no, they're not allowed. You know, they would make it would be known that no, that person cannot be running because hey, we don't just want that kind.
Yeah.
You know, but on their side, the hypocrisy, it's just crazy. So it doesn't matter, good for you, not good for me. They're going to do this. And
yeah, we're in a lot of trouble.
It's just kind of crazy.
We're in a lot of trouble.
That it's permeating through the rest of the world.
Well,
and everybody kind of knows it.
Well, you know, once again, I would like to think that cooler heads will prevail, but I'm sorry. When I look at Joe Biden, I don't believe we're in the right hands.
Yeah.
I don't think that the guy's up to the job. I think right now we have some people making some very aggressive threats, some very aggressive moves. You've made us weaker, not stronger. But you're still going to talk like it's 1987.
Yeah.
You know, you can't do that because you're putting us all at risk. So Nancy Pelosi, sit the F down. You're not getting you in a photo op. You know what I mean? Actually, I would like to say this. How about all American politicians? Stay the fuck out of the Ukraine, will you?
Yeah, that's right. Brian said so. Stay the fuck out.
I'm just saying, pardon my French, John.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's not French. But
it is.
I don't think so. I don't know why people always say that's stupid. But the point is, why are you going into a war zone? Do you understand if you get hurt in a war zone, then we have to retaliate?
Yeah,
so stay out of the war zone.
A straight up war zone with a country that has nukes.
That's crazy. That has threatened us with them, by the way.
And you're not going to the country that has the nukes and is aiming them toward the weaker country. You're going to the country that's just about to accept the nukes from the dominating country.
Yes.
That's very smart, you know. That's very smart. A break. What do you? You know, a little strange though. But hey, it is what we have to deal with, right? Because, and you know something, get used to it.
Yeah. No.
Ain't changing anytime soon.
That's crazy, man.
Ain't changing anytime soon. All right. So is this our song out? All right, good. All right, well, hey, everybody enjoy the rest of your day. You ready to go do a workout?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. More curls for the girls. That's what I say, Brian.
Yay.
All right, everybody, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow morning. We are Renegade Radio. Goodbye. Someone's hot. Like, you take a break?
Yes. Yeah.
It's a good time to take a break.
What I meant was somebody asked me the other day, they said, can you play the song?
Yeah, just admit it, you fucked up.
No.
You won't even admit it.
Butch from Andover. He's actually still with us. I guarantee that. I can actually show you a screenshot. Actually, go to the Renegade website. Whatever.
This guy just fucked up.
That's not true. That is not true. And I resent that. I'm hurt by that. I resent it a little bit.
I won't even admit to his mistakes. I'm on you, Bernie. I'm on you.
That's safe. That's ended.